I'm saying look at the crisis. More families will go into poverty in Nigeria. Is it the best thing?
But it's caused by your APC government. The APC government you supported. President Tinubu did two things that destroyed this economy even further. Well, subsidy, destroyed the economy. It started by your, so it's your APC government that'll make people go to bed hungry. It's your APC government that'll make people suffer.
Do you know that
Criticize President Tinubu. Tell him he's wrong for doing all those things he's done. So it's not about, the PDP is not in government. They've not been in government for 8 years. It is your problem in the APC.
Have you asked yourself?
And there are Nigerians who will say there are many grounds for a thorough interrogation of the Buhari administration. Whereas President Buhari's administration went on an onslaught against the Jonathan administration. So were you correctly quoted saying that the APC government, has not proved the PDP, or you were not in this country when the Buhari administration was hounding prominent members of the Jonathan administration? Let us get the empirical facts around that first. Or you could say you didn't say so. Then I will understand.
Thank you, Dr. Ruby. I stand by my story. I'm also going to thank or congratulate President-elect of Ghana, J.D. Mahama, and the Ghanaian people, upon which story the PDP leadership took the swipe on APC. I'm saying so repeatedly that the PDP humongous culture of impunity and trust deficits affected the Nigerian political culture, affected with the APC, our progressive tendency, if not corrupted or contaminated, let us say diluted our progressive tendency. And also, PDP was also a casualty. It was because of their culture of impunity that they breached this rotation convention of president from north to south, and even the PDP constitution, section 7, that expressly mandated members to adhere to rotation or zoning convention. Where do I start from? When President Obasanjo was nominated, I deposed an affidavit in court challenging that he was an ex-convict and that his own tradition is military, that he cannot midwife our new democracy that we fought for with tears, blood. The next day, the then head of state, Absalom Abubakar, pardoned President Obasanjo, and he went ahead to win the election. What was the aftermath? The aftermath is that his own brand of democracy, he even wrote in a seminal paper that he prefers a one-party state, that is strong man. And he created gulags. In my own part of the country, the southeast, he produced the then Governor Gige. In Ibadan, there was also the gulag, who made sure that the then AD governors did not make a return, except President Tinubu. Where do I start from? Do I talk of the fact that the World Bank handbook noted precisely that we are saying for efficiency, for safety of resources that could be plowed to social and fiscal infrastructure, that those state-owned enterprises of every country that is not performing due to the corruption or the lukewarm attitude of the bureaucracy should be privatized. But on one condition, that the privatization must be transparent, so that the people do not lose both psychologically that what is their own later will enter into wrong hands. It happened to our electricity value chain. It happened to even Mambila, that could have today be producing over 3,000 megawatts of electricity out to our 4-5 megawatts. It happened to Aluminium Smelter in Ajokuta, just to mention a few. Or do we talk of the, repeatedly, in 2003, I was one of the agents of President Buhari's candidature for his first outing. And we knew how it was manipulated. Yes, Buhari could have lost on question of spread, but he got majority votes. But there was no, the laws were not obeyed. While we were crying in the tribunal, in 2007, the worst happened, where my senior brother, Professor Iwu, just did his own makosa. I'm saying that when the political culture is contaminated or diluted, it takes a lot of headache, a lot of efforts to reverse. Yes, there were skirmisher probes, the Dasuki probe, I agree with you, but that was not the main thing. It wasn't, for God's sake. In the course of the 25 years, there were periods when Nigeria was selling more than $100 per barrel of our petroleum products.
All right, okay.
Dr. Ruby,
yes,
you were in the Jonathan administration when the issue of the Greenfield refinery was brokered with the Chinese. What happened? I called it neglect because I wanted to be civil. Otherwise, by the time when Ambassador Chida was the Nigerian ambassador in China, we were invited to China, we represented President Muhammadu Buhari to reopen the Greenfield refinery.
All right.
$33 billion.
Okay, Mr. Okechukwu.
And the Chinese were ready to bankroll it.
Mr. Okechukwu.
But they said, they refused. My sister, hold on.
We have very
This
limited time, so we can wrap up your thoughts here.
Yes. Let me drop for you. This Greenfield refinery that we failed to enact, we lost over $70 billion in refined petroleum product. Today, the hardship in the country is a result of that either neglect or mismanagement of Nigerian affairs. So nobody probed it. I won't say what the Chinese told us when we got to China. So I didn't say there were no probes. Even there was a day I challenged President Buhari. I said, sir, this Dasuki thing is not the main issue. We came to power. Approach Nigerians change. If Buhari had probed those people, it could have been easy for Tinubu to repeat same. But immediately the political culture is contaminated, my brother and my sisters. Please, let us look for a rethink. If we don't change the gear, who cannot actually Africa?
All right. Okay, Mr. Okechukwu. All right, let me come in. Thank you so much. I'm sure some people might also be of the opinion that if it were possible, this administration should probe the Buhari administration as well. It's just that they belong to the same party. But let me talk about the state of the economy. You know, under the APC-led governments and PDP-led governments, the stats and the numbers show that the economy was actually in a better state under the PDP-led administration. So if you look at it from the exchange rate to the FDI numbers to unemployment numbers, the numbers speak higher for the PDP administration. What do you have to say about that? Because one of the reasons, if you look at the Ghanaian election, and perhaps that's why Mr. Lugwamba made that statement, is that the people wanted change from what was considered to be a mismanaged economy in Ghana. How well has the APC government managed the economy, compared to the PDP administration? The PDP administration famously said they let a $550 billion economy, yet the APC has plunged that, lower and lower as the years have progressed. What do you have to say about that?
My sister, I agree with you with their own mission, but I'm saying, if you do a dialectical analysis, a granular, incisive introspection about where we are, my people said it's important to know where the rain started beating us. If you don't know, when you start instituting a Gulag garrison commander democracy, do you think it's easy to come out from? What I'm saying is simplicity. Is that we are coming to more elections. The Nigerian people should guide our alliance to look for those. I'm not talking as an APC member per se. I'm talking for the fact that I remember we were having a meeting with Kato, a journalist in Kaduna. The next weekend we said it's lost. A lot of people who lost their life in the course of this democracy. I'm talking as a patriot, as an elder.
No, you haven't answered my question.
I'm saying that.
Mr. Okechukwu, you didn't answer my question.
I'm coming to your question.
Okay, no, just because our time is limited. I'm just asking in terms of an evaluation of the management of the economy. For instance, FDI hit $8 billion during the PDP administration. At the moment, we're hovering around $25 million. That's a dip in that. And a number of other things, foreign exchange, dollar to a naira at the time, about 190 or 360 at the time. Now we're hitting 1,600, 1,700. How well or how better has the APC administration been able to manage the Nigerian economy compared to the PDP to convince Nigerians in the next election that definitely they've done better?
Good question.
My sister, I agree with you, but you also don't think to see where I'm coming from. I'm saying, I'm not absolving two wrongs cannot make it right. I'm not absolving we the APC. I'm saying that in my own little capacity, I pleaded with our government. If you don't clean the audience table, in the next 10 years, we'll still be in trouble. Do you know the number of families, Ayo, that is going hungry in this Xmas? That the kids cannot have the simple uniform they buy for them for the Xmas. They don't have it. That's my worry. And I'm telling you that we need a rejig. Femi Falana, Senior Counsel, he came with a document where he said he can recover $15 billion. That is not only the Abacha loot that is hanging abroad. We presented it. Was it honored? We're saying it's still early. Even if Okechukwu is culpable, for God's sake, we must clean the audience table to come where we are. I'm not talking of APC per se.
Okay.
I'm talking of the culture, the culture that have been polluted, the banditry, where it have become contagious, where we now have bandits of many colors.
Okay.
You don't know which one is a bandit.
Okay, sir. Okay,
even while you are driving, you see somebody cutting corners on the road. It's banditry.
Okay.
What on nepotism? What on nepotism that they have entrenched?
Okay.
It's PDP that started all these things. That's what I'm saying.
So couple of things. Merry Christmas, I should say to you and your family. I wish you the very best this season. But you said PDP has entrenched a lot of this nepotism. Let me play devil's advocate. Really? At a time where even your party members are complaining that APC's government is government of Lagos boys. Is that it? You were also talking about corruption, that they should have tried the PDP for corruption. And I laughed. I'm like, really? The same APC government as we speak today that we've got nothing about Better Edu, that Yaya Bello had to do merry-go-round before he finally went to the courts. Lots of corruption from the last administration. Many ministers still being tried. APC has become a cesspit of corruption with recourse to nothing. And this was the same APC government under Buhari, the government you served under, that punished people for corruption, that took them to jail and extended their stay in jail. So is this not grand hypocrisy on the part of you saying, oh, the APC should have tried the PDP? The question is, the APC came in saying they want to clear the organ stable. Now, they have become a cesspool of corruption. It stinks.
Rufai, could I ask you a question?
Please do.
Are you happy today that the Nigerian electorate cannot decipher the difference between APC or PDP, in spite of the progressive agenda we came to change with? Are you not worried?
No, they can actually...
In my southeast region,
yes,
the leadership of the APC today in my southeast region are PDP product. Look at what is going on there. They corrupted the system there as well. So it's contagious. I'm not defending APC. I'm not defending APC. Get me right. I'm not absorbing APC that we're correct. We're wrong. Damn wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm saying look at the crisis. More families will go into poverty in Nigeria. Is it the best thing?
But it's caused by your APC government. The APC government you supported. President Tinubu did two things that destroyed this economy even further. Well, subsidy, destroyed the economy. It's started by so it's your APC government that'll make people go to bed hungry. It's your APC government that'll make people suffer.
Do you know that
Criticize President Tinubu. Tell him he's wrong for doing all those things he's done. So it's not about, the PDP is not in government. They've not been in government for 8 years. It is your problem in the APC.
Have you asked yourself why the distribution electricity companies, why most of them have lost their rights, and who are managing it? The banks. And this is a banking system that charges not less than 20-30% for interest rates. Where is it done in the world? We need an overhaul, my brother. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you in what you are saying, but we need an overhaul.
So are you saying APC has been bad for Nigeria?
I said we got contaminated by the PDP.
Has APC been bad for Nigeria?
So PDP had moral high ground. PDP had no moral high ground.
But so APC contaminated PDP and PDP has now become a disease to Nigeria? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not absorbing APC. I'm worried. Okay, I'm worried about the state of affairs.
Mr. Okechukwu, what triggered this conversation was a statement by Mr. Debo Olugbagba about the just concluded elections in Ghana. Now, some people have said, look, it seems Nigeria can learn some lessons from what transpired in Ghana. Okay? Do you share that view, that there are lessons we can learn from Ghana? And if you agree, what are those lessons in your view? So that we go beyond domestic politics. Number one, let's go to the root cause of this.
There's a lot to learn from Ghana.
Tell us.
Outside their transparent, free and fair election, there is also the attitude of Ghanaians. They have moved away from banditry in their mind. I mean the word bandits by trying to take unfair advantage, undue advantage over everything we are doing. That had infected our psyche. Even those who claim to be ethnic champions, when they became president, what happened to their region? That's my worry. I agree with you. But I'm saying the Nigerian electorate should get prepared for us to do a major overhaul. If we don't do that, then I'm sorry.
All right. Okay. So
that's all the lessons that you can see.
Attitude is important. If you tell a Ghanaian, "Are you Shanti?" he will get angry. If you tell him, "Are you Fante?" he will get angry. If you tell him, "I'm Ghanaian, the Black Star." Have we come to that? Why are we not coming to that? I told you one of the aspects of corruption that have been instituted from PDP days to now is increasing. It's nepotism. When you don't choose the best in the country, you want an appointment, you can't choose the best in the country, and you know them. There's no ethnic group in the country that do not have experts.
Okechukwu, are you saying the PDP established nepotism in this country? This nepotism crisis has been there since the First Republic. The PDP didn't exist in the First Republic. Please, just know that you are talking to people who have been around too. You are not talking to. How can you just say PDP established nepotism?
Are you happy that in the 25 years that we've gone, that we realize the objective of democracy?
All right.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Oh, Mr. Okechukwu.
Maybe we need an interpreter to explain some of these claims to me.
Okay, Mr. Okechukwu, I hear you. In fact, what you're saying is that you're not here to defend the APC. You are, as many Nigerians, are aggrieved at the state of the nation currently, right? Because that's what I hear you saying. You're not here in defense as well of the APC. So if you were to, as an APC chieftain, you were to at least make your voice heard to the president, and what some of the things, some of the changes that should be effected, what would you say as a patriotic Nigerian now? Not, being apolitical, it's not about the party, it's just about giving a better life for Nigerians. What would you say?
I will start from this simpler methods, which I've said here or in some other fora as well. I said a barrel of oil that sells for $70 contains not only PMS, when it's being refined, there are other derivatives, diesel and others. Reduce the price of the pump price so that the food crisis in the country, that the people will breathe. It's a simple matter to be done. Even if the federal government loses money, the families, under the neoliberal policy, my sister, they told you that you must leave the people money in their hands. They know how best to use their money more than the state. You are still borrowing, and you are overtaxing people. How do we grow? How do we breathe? If I'm President Tinubu, I will go ahead to borrow from the international community and leave my people to have a space. I know what I will borrow for. If I use $15 billion to revitalize the electricity chain and cancel all those discos, because they are no more in their hands, it's now in the banks, who are just colleagues of the same less than 1% of Nigeria who are holding us on the ground. You remove them and return electricity, every family with a small tariff will be able to pay up in the next 20 years whatever amount you borrowed. Are we talking of rails? There are critical infrastructure you tell the world that you borrow. When President Obasanjo then was did a very patriotic one to negotiate their relief, we of the CPP, led by late Barabe Musa, went to him. I told him, sir, that's $12 billion you want to give to Igbo. We met the then MD of Siemens, one Manfred Abatti. He told us that Siemens can revolutionize the electricity in the country, that all we need is to tell the international community that the Siemens will guarantee all the $12 billion and we use it to revitalize electricity, that in the next 10 years, we'll be able to knock off the debt. There are a lot of things to be done. The country wants to help Nigeria. They're not happy that Nigeria is failing. I was with a diplomat the other day. He told me, Osita, why do people want the country to fail? There are money hanging around. They just know that the intendment and the usage, if they know it is transparent, they go with you. But if you start playing hanky-panky, they won't go with you.
Okay, so in all of this, you're talking about playing hanky-panky, you're talking in very veiled terms, but obviously you're pointing to these governments. Is it because you fell out with President Tinubu in the first place?
No, I'm not particular.
No, yeah, we know it's veiled.
It's a banditry that have many colors.
Mr. Okechukwu, Mr. Okechukwu,
I'm not exonerating anybody. I'm involved.
Mr. Okechukwu, hang on. I'm not a child in this business. The truth is, you are making veiled references, and these veiled references are towards the government at hand, or they take responsibility for most of the faults you have mentioned. I'm asking, Is it because
I take responsibility because I keep on talking to.
No,
I'm part of the game. I said it's better to work from in-house.
Yeah, is it because
don't cherry pick.
Wait, is it because you fell out with them? They remove you from the position you were with this government now, because they remove you from where you were, where you had served like 8 years under Buhari's term. They remove you from that parastatal. Is it because of that? Now, if they say, okay, Mr. Osita Okechukwu, you're a prominent voice of the Southeast, come back to the fold. We have seen you. Will this narrative change?
Thank you very much. If you know my struggle before Buhari won, I was in all his 4 elections, playing my little role. What did they give me that I should forget the interest of the Nigerian for? There's nothing you give me that I will not tell you the truth. If I'm one of Tinubu's advisors, this thing I'm telling you is what I'll tell him. The same thing I was telling President Muhammad Buhari when he was there. I had more access to him. I keep on repeating it. I said, what does it take us to fix the refineries? There was a time I elected to lead a group. I met the Chinese ambassador. I said, where are those companies that planted this plant? They said they are still there, though they change ownership, but they are the same mechanism. I said, those are the best group to do this. So you might say your own, they might not listen. So I'm not trying to absorb it.
But what I'm asking,
people are taking up on a good note.
What I'm asking, sir, is if, for instance, now you have Tinubu's ear in like a cabinet role, and you have his ear, most of these things you are going to tell us on Arise. You will not come and tell us again. You will tell him directly to his ear.
No, you don't know me now. You don't know me.
Is it because
when I was heading the fund he talked about, was I not criticizing?
Is it because
when I was heading fund he said
and the question is, let me just even ask you as we wrap up, what role would you like to be able to perform to make things align? What area do you see in the government as we speak that you can, put your expertise to work?
It's not about me. Please, whether I have office or don't have office is not the issue. While I was in that the Voice of Nigeria glorified office, you told me, was I not saying the same thing? Okay. I'm saying
it's all right.
Mr. Senior counsel said there are money hanging, $15 billion hanging. Let's authorize him to look for it.
Mr. Okechukwu.
What is wrong? Why are we borrowing while we have money hanging?
It's okay. There's this thing they call the Iron Dome strategy for fencing off drones and all that the Americans and the Israelis put in place in the face of the crisis in the Middle East. And President Tinubu has an Iron Dome communication strategy. Maybe someday, you'll get into that Iron Dome framework too, and you can speak from inside again to defend the administration. I think that's what Rufai was alluding to.
You can't be more correct.
And I hope you will not say no if that opportunity comes.
That's not
you can speak for President Tinubu. If he says you should come and speak for him, you will say no to join the Iron Dome.
Let me tell you what I'm praying for. It's a change of attitude of our leadership. I'm not particular about President Tinubu or anybody.
But you can facilitate the change from within.
Primary physics.
You can facilitate the change from within his cabinet.
I'm within. That's why I'm not outside. I'm not outside for God's sake.
Okay. It's just that you don't have a title.
I'm still within.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't need to.
Okay.
What I'm praying for is a change of attitude. It's not about Tinubu or who. No.
Another big title will concretize things. Will give legitimacy.
No, you don't know me then. You don't know me.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm worried about the country.
Thank you very much.
I'm not talking about my family. I'm talking about a brother.
Okay.
Look,
you listen to this man. Chidi Osita, beauty be your name. So I wonder at this time somebody will still be blaming PDP for the failure of this country, Nigeria. I wonder at this time, after 8 years of Buhari's government, now Tinubu has come to damage the country the more. Somebody will still be referring, you're talking about PDP. The PDP started it. So PDP were not good. That was why you came here as an opposition, to correct the mistakes. Yeah, instead of you correcting the mistakes, you are adding more problems. And now you are blaming them that they failed. As a company, if one MD, CEO, if failed to deliver the duty as a CEO of that, as MD of that position, they have right, the owner have right to change, replace him so that he can do well. So when you come in, you don't have to continuously blame the former one. That's why you are there, to correct the mistakes, bring a lot of changes, development, to move the company forward. And if you cannot do it, then you have to replace it with another one. You don't have to continue blaming the former one. That is to say, you are not competent enough. So if you are not competent to move the nation forward, then step down, let another person come in who will stop blaming. Now, you are not blaming Buhari. You are not blaming Buhari because you guys are the same party, right? So I don't understand this every time. And now the reason why you are even saying it, just like Rufai said to you, why you are even saying that your government is by APC is because you are not in position, the position you were during Buhari. You are not there now. That's why you have right to even speak about this government like this. When you were there with Buhari, you see a lot of things were going on. You never said, correct it. You never said to your master at that time. So that's why I said these people, whenever they are in power, they don't have solutions to issues. They can't solve problems. But let them leave office. They are no longer in that position. Then they will start having ideas what to do to move the country forward. This is what they should have done. Why didn't you do it? If you can't do it, why didn't you, since you have the opportunity to speak to the person directly, they will listen to you. Why didn't you speak to the person at that time? But you will not. Rather, you always see the good side of the government. Whatever they are doing at that time is good for the nation. Meanwhile, others are complaining. So this is a country where we find ourselves. Like this, we are not going anywhere. Continue to blame opposition. Continue to blame the former one. Meanwhile, you are not doing anything different to change the narratives. You are not. Every time. Anyways, what do you think about this man? Please share, like, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll be your guy runner for me, please.